I'm going to tell you a story, but the first thing I have to stand is time is now. We're doing Ignas. You can call me Oracle because I'm one of the dog team. Welcome to Cult. Before I get into this, quick note about the Shadow Phoenix. So think about a lot of stuff I do in this show. Is a lot of it involves Paratman, like all the horrors. They're all Paratman, which means they're all higher souls. The star. Horrors are specifically human adjacent, as opposed to strictly human, but they're human enough adjacent that they're like basically things of our nightmares. Not exactly human, definitely human adjacent. Things like the Geist, Savipreta Paratman. So, effectively, there are two Shadow Phoenixes. There's me. I'm the dude on the ground, so to speak. Then there's, like, effectively the reason I get to call myself the Shadow Phoenix, because it's more of him than me. Which would be subtexts like Hysteria Mayora, which is effectively, as I can tell, I'm a Lika Paratman. It's a primordial, higher soul. Which is pretty neat, because he's pretty chill. So there's that. So sometimes I will talk about the Shadow Phoenix, and I'll be talking about myself, and sometimes I'll be talking about him. As a side note. So, getting on with the last hunger, which I'm not going to do in the classical sense of what in fact I'm going to come up with a different way to do. Okay, so here's the thing. This last one is almost certainly one reason that people might have read this thing as like, that seems like a red flag. So I'm not going to lie. Seems like something that's hard to do in a way that's not scummy. Seems real hard. Now, is it impossible? Actually, I'm pretty sure no. I'm pretty sure there are plenty of ways that are just like not terrible to do this. They just require a lot of thought, which I haven't really done yet. I came up with some good ideas, but I'm not sure I want to run with any of them yet. And this is Enablers. Enablers are begun to hunger for transgression. You might be beginning to see where my problem is. They entice coerce or deceive their victims into something that he believes, something that the victim believes to be wrong, and gains satiety from the ensuing shame or guilt. I'm not really sure I'm okay with feeding on shame or guilt. Because most of the people who I want to feel shame and guilt from, they've already done something wrong and they just don't feel it. Kind of a conundrum. Enablers are one of the more complex hungers the victims must knowingly choose to transgress. By itself, that sounds like, kind of easy-ish. Because at least short than Naval, at least it basically gives you a hard set parameter as to what does and doesn't count as something you should be able to feed off. There may be some degree of pressure or deception involved, but for instance, dragging it about you and eating pork would not be effective, nor would force feeding it to her against her will. Why? Because even if they're feeling guilty, they shouldn't. Straight up. To a degree, this seems a lot like the beast vicariously transgressing, which is bizarre to me. Now, I don't think that's actually what the case is, But like, anyway, I'm gonna continue. Rather, the enabler has to choose a target who is on some level already willing to transgress and simply put them enough, give them enough rope to hang themselves. That I really have the ability to get behind. Maybe. The victim must also transgress a value that's important in their sense of self. Depends on what the value is. Because a lot of people have a lot of BS Garva pride that defines their sense of self. Like, am I saying there's a ton of it? Nah, because well, for one thing, Garva is actually the worst of the worst. It is like the worst pride in Earth I can tell. I'm pretty sure Garva is literally actually pride like from the devil as a sin. Like, I'm pretty sure. There's a couple different words for pride. I'm unclear which one's the really bad one, but I'm pretty sure that it's actually Garva. Now, the victim must also that's important in their sense of self. In the previous example, a secular Jew hasn't really kept kosher since childhood, would not feel enough remorse at indulging in a bacon cheeseburger for the able to let it feed. Yeah, so like, I take some salt, it's kosher salt, I montrify it. That don't mean I am now kosher, for example. In case, like, you had to deal with the dumbest beast that ever existed, and that would do stupid stuff like this, like that breaks all of this just because they think they're smart. Uh, On the other hand, a militant vegan who belongs to a constellation of animal welfare organizations and runs a recipe activist blog would be an excellent target for a burger wielding enabler. I'm really not liking this so far. Like a burger wielding enabler. Uh, uh, uh. There are lots of ways to enable. Quite a few of them are bad. I'm not even talking about beefs, I'm talking about in real life. Now, lots of good ways to be enablers in real life. That's kind of a difficult one. That is a difficult way to be a good enabler in real life. At high levels of city, the transgression must be grave, something that would get a religious leader excommunicated or bring down a politician. But would you really need to convince the politician to transgress? Chances are. Like, would you really want to take down an actual not dishonest politician? I wouldn't. Seems like such a waste. Such transgressions not only ruin the victim's life, but may also cause severe integrity loss. Compromising someone's sense of self will do that. Lowers levels of satiety. Nearly everything that would make the target feel guilty, make the target feel guilty will suffice, such as encouraging a spat between friends. You might be seeing now why I'm having some issues figuring out the best way to do this one. All right. You know what? I think I'm gonna wrap that one up for now. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe.